think everybody at the football club is excited for the game because we've worked ever so hard to put ourselves into this position. But we also know as well that we play wonderful opponents. I mean, fantastic individual players, an outstanding team, a team that's on such a long, unbeaten run. I think it's it's the best it's ever been in the ISL, and all credit to them. So we're excited about that because we know that we have a wonderful team, a team that's won 9 games out of the last 10. We know we're in good form. Of course, there's always niggly injuries and different things to contend with, but we get a smile on our face and we're ready to go. And we have a chance of, as ATK do, of finishing that #1 position. And we want to see it through. We want to go out and give our best performance. And if we do that, then of course we know that we can win these tough games. That last year or any year has got nothing to do with tomorrow, who was where and who wasn't where. The bottom line is there's 2 very, very good teams going toe-to-toe tomorrow. And we know that if we're at our very best, we can get a positive result, and we will approach that game to win the game. That's how we play. We're at our best when we're trying to win games. Anything other than that, it compromises what we do. So we'll look to play in the front foot. We'll look to try and win a very tough game against very good opponents. And if we do, it will result us in finishing #1 in the country, winning the Shield. And that's everybody's aim at the outset of the season. We've already taken Jamshedpur to where they've never been before in respect of being in those playoff places for the history of the club. But we're not happy to settle on that. We want more. We want to try and finish that #1 position. And then when the playoffs start, we want to be at our very best to try and win that as well. The only way to do that is making sure that we're focused, we're concentrated, and we're playing at our maximum. If we do that, we've shown that we can win games. And when we don't, of course, that's when you come into difficulties. So we have to make sure, as I said before, we're focused, we're concentrated, and we're giving our very best to try and win. Because, for our fans, we want to give them something tangible. To do that, we need to be our very best. Well, I'm delighted with all my players, because it's not just about foreign players, it's not about the Indian domestic players, it's the collective effort. And of course, this season there was one less foreigner. It gave an opportunity for another Indian to play in the team. And that's been great because all the players have responded to it. And I've said before, the player that plays, one game, actually sometimes the players that don't even be on the field for us because of what they bring to the group, they're as important as the man that plays every game or the player that's valued as the player of the year. Everybody has the same value with us, and that's why we have, we stick together. That's why we have this team spirit, the camaraderie, and but of course the development on the players on the field. It's been great. It's been great to see young Boris. Komal was obviously injured, but he was sensational when he was in the team. Young Ritvik's came in. Players, if we're honest, players that were disregarded by other clubs. Young Jitendra, Narendra's come through. Mobashir had come through, obviously, the club as young players. But when you look at everybody else in the team, Ranesh was released by Kerala. I brought Ranesh. Dinliana wasn't getting a game at Chennai when I came in. I brought Dinliana with me. Ricky never stripped for 1 year, even in a matchday squad for ATK when we brought Ricky in. And then you've got, Len Dungo wasn't playing at Goa when we brought Len. Boris, Komal, Pranay weren't getting a game at ATK. Ishan obviously was on the bench at Goa, and I've seen he's going to be an outstanding player. Brought Ishan in. So you go through the team. I brought players to this club that weren't getting a game anywhere else, but I recognised they had ability. I recognised I think they needed some coaching and they needed an opportunity. And it's been great, to see how they've excelled, how they've enjoyed, what they're doing and how they've represented Jamshedpur. Then it's great to see. But I've got to say that, there's more development within them, there's more to come. But for this game, we need to make sure that every one of them are at their best. Some will miss out, through injury or what have you, but we'll pick the best team we have available to go and win a tough game. Yeah, I think within all those games, there's always, as much as we've won the games we've done, there's always moments in games that it's challenging. There's games that we've been pegged back and we've had to go and win again. There's games that we've had to see our way through. Because when you play good teams, there's always going to be periods in the game that they're in top, and we have to manage that as best we can. So of course, I think it's been good to see how we've coped with all the trials and all the tribulations in the second half of the season, and there's been many of them. But we've made light of them because what we have to do is you have to concentrate on the players you do have available and not be worrying about the ones that you don't, because you have a medical team, you have other things that hopefully they come back to full fitness. But when players miss out, it's unfortunate for them, but we have to make sure we concentrate on the group we have and trying to attain the results, which we've done. But we have one huge game to go against outstanding opponents, great individual players, a great team, an unbelievable unbeaten run, and an outstanding young coach, Juan Fernando, somebody I have a lot of time for. We had a really good chat early in the season when he was at FC Goa, and so I know they're going to be very, very dangerous opponents. You know, the budget they spend, they're able to go and buy and spend big money on ready-made players. We do something different because we bring players in that, you know, that don't get games out anywhere else, but I recognise the ability in them, and hopefully we help them on the path to becoming very good players. So I think there's no doubt it's two different scenarios, but two wonderful clubs in their own respect. So we'll be doing everything in our power to make sure we try and win that game for Jamshedpur. Well, Daniel Shima was an outstanding player, and I always knew he was. I knew when East Bengal signed him in the summer, I thought to myself, what a fantastic player that East Bengal have signed. Now, if Daniel wasn't utilised properly, or maybe, you know, different style or different service, whatever you want to call it, but it never took away from my belief in the quality of Daniel Shima, because sometimes you need the right players round about you, sometimes you need the right system, different factors all to come together. But what I knew was that if I brought Daniel Shima to Jamshedpur, he'd be everything that I needed in a striker, as I have with Jordan Murray. When Jordan starts, he's everything I look for in terms of how we play, Ishan Pandita and Greg Stewart. And Daniel Shima's another one of those that I just felt had wonderful qualities. And he's come in, he's worked ever so hard, and he's scored goals and he's created goals, and, you know, he's been assists and everything else. But Daniel Shima can play without, he doesn't have to score to contribute to our team because of the work that he brings and the effort he brings. He's a team player, plays with a big smile on his face. We love having him at a club, and of course he's added to the quality that we already have, and we're delighted to have him. I think he's really enjoying himself, and long may that continue.